So, as introduced already, my name is Tiina Raatikainen. This morning I come from Jyväskylän. I took a train, early train, and I'm going to go back there today as well. I work on the field of education, exporting education actually, exporting expertise and excellence. And this area being quite new on the field of exporting or export in Finland. But before I continue, I would like to activate you a little. Have you followed the news lately? Have you had a look at the news concerning education this week? Do you know what is topical? Please, I will give you 1 minute time to talk about this with your neighbor or a couple of yours. Please, if you don't know what this is, what I'm talking about, the latest news of education during this week, try to figure it out. Or if you know it, please tell it to the person sitting next to you. So 1 minute for this. On you go. So thank you. You've had your minute. If you now think that you know what I'm talking about, please put your hand up. All right. I won't tell the answer yet, but I'm promising to give the answer during the next 17 minutes or so. I'm going to talk you about my experiences, emotions, and discoveries made during the past few years. Last week, I made a business trip to Nigeria. There we were, us Finns, once more ranked top, ranked the best in the developed world when it comes to our education system. According to a table league published by an education company, education firm Pearson. And the Nigerians, as they told themselves, ranking top in the list of most children not attending school in the world. We were supposed to talk about education. We were supposed to share ideas. Is that the moment where us Finns, where we should have had giving top-down pieces of advice on how to create a world-class performing education system? Isn't that expertise enough to come from a system like that? What should we talk about? Let's go a little back in time before continuing from here. Some time ago, I was lucky enough to get to work in the United Arab Emirates. Abu Dhabi Education Council is renewing strongly and dynamically their education system. And us Finns, we're taking part in the process. I was working as a teacher in Al Ain, a desert city in the middle of basically nowhere. I was supposed to teach Emirati girls from 6 to 7 years. I was supposed to lead the process of their learning and create the learning environments for them in English, mathematics, and science. Before going there, I realized that, well, with my almost 20 years of experience within education, I was not big-headed, but I was quite confident. And what I ended up with, I gave myself some time to adapt to the new conditions. I gave myself time to adapt to the culture. None of the languages that I mastered was applicable in the environment. And still, there was nothing for me to hide behind. The learning environment was there. The facilities were there. I was not succeeding. I was not managing. I started looking at the mirror. I started reflecting. What is this? Who am I? Are you a teacher or what? What are you supposed to be? What do you think you are? And that was hard. That was painful. Internally, that has been the most humiliating professional process experience ever. I realized that my personality is my main tool as a teacher, as an educator. And the other tools that I had used before in Finland and on some other grounds as well, internationally, they didn't work. I needed to create new tools. I needed to create new tools to meet with the students, to meet with my colleagues, to meet with the students' parents. It was cultural awareness. It was learning how to talk again. It was learning how to dress. It was basic everyday things that I had to learn. Everything happened by trial and error. There was no other way. And you can imagine, finally, I ended up feeling very, very good about it. But a tough way it was. That has been the most precious learning experience of my whole life, definitely. But let's come back to Nigeria. Here we were. Me representing the top-ranked, best education system in the world. And the Nigerian, as they told, top-ranked in the league table of most children not attending school. What should we talk about once more? We were able to meet with each other beautifully. We shared the passion. We shared the hunger for education. We shared the mutual understanding that education is the most powerful tool into future success. That's something that we did, but not only because we had the experience that one would imagine, but me personally, because I had gone through my personal individual toils and snares. That was my way of getting there. As I've already mentioned, not only the experience and training given to us here in Finland, but going abroad, figuring out how to export expertise or excellence. You need a lot of other qualities as well. You need to perceive yourself over and over again as a constant learner. It's a change of attitude. It's a change of perspective from an expert to a learner. It's humbleness. It is the art of being able to create co-equal partnerships where each member of the partnership is on the same level. And it is strong adaptation to systems. It's strong adaptation to where you are. I have also got to see the Finnish education system from outside, through the eyes of an outsider, by having the chance of meeting and collaborating with people from all over the world. And what I think is so special of our education system, and what is so special about it, that a small nation like us, how we over and over again succeed in the international tests or rankings. First of all, from very early stage on, in our system, there's an inbuilt mutual respect and responsibility. From a very early childhood on, the child is given an ownership of her own process. And that is very unique. We want the child already to participate in her own learning and later on take over on the whole process. The same goes for all levels of our system. Our teachers at all levels, they have a stronger autonomy than anywhere else. The mutual respect is not hierarchical. The hierarchy that we have doesn't basically exist. Adults respect children, children respect adults. The local administrators, they respect teachers. There is an equal partnership between principals and teachers, and so on. The parents are involved. And that is very, very unique. Our evaluation system, one like that does not exist anywhere else. It is supportive and encouraging by nature. And that is something that most of the people that I have met from anywhere else, they can't understand it. They can't understand the lack of external rankings and the lack of external monitoring system. And finally, that has become our strength as well. There's a systemic flexibility. Our education system does not have dead ends. And that follows, lifelong learning follows that, as mentioned in the previous video. There are no dead ends. We do support lifelong learning. No child is left behind. We have succeeded with 0.3% of dropouts after our basic school. That's the lowest in the world. And if we can't boast on the top level students, we can boast on the fact that definitely no child is left behind, no matter who she or he is. We have to tell apart the things that we can affect from those that we can't. I do believe that education is one of the most strongest tools to affect things that are to be affected in the world. And education and developing education is one of the most powerful tools to change the world. Thank you.